Who wanted the battles? Let's see. Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO.
It's time for another raffle brought to you by the JBT. Our first item is a new 10th generation iPad with a liquid retina display which shows off beautiful color and has plenty of power for all your handheld computing needs. Great for work, play, or just movies on the go. How much is it to enter, you ask? Just $10. Or you can catch the deal with 3 entries for just $25. It's easy to enter. Just cash app your entries to $JBT Network 1. That's $JBT Network 1. Our second item is a set of Kenichi Bear Bluetooth noise canceling headphones. Great for gaming, movies, or travel. As the second prize in this great raffle. Our third item is a Ninja brand air fryer. Great for all your air frying needs. Cooking healthy with the JBT. So send your entries via Cash App to JBT Network 1. That's JBT Network 1. $10 each or 3 for $25. Put raffle on the comment line and you are entered.
Primo Lopez, the takeover, 2-time undisputed world champion. Primo Lopez.
Take off, fight Mario! 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 Take off! Take off! Take off! Take off, fight Mario! Take off, fight Mario! Take off, fight Mario!
Don't get mad at me, nigga. I'm here telling the truth. If somebody else should have told you this. Don't get mad at me, nigga.
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy BVO Boxing. Back in the building again. I'm with my man Puerto Rican Free. And of course, I got my guy, Manager Calvin, in the house. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on?
So today we got a big show waiting on our guests to come through.
Yo, stop introducing me as Manager Calvin, because when you do that, I'm going to interrupt the show and throw it off every time.
Hey, what we'll do is I'm going to have Free put you backstage when you do that.
Man, Free ain't going to do nothing.
But shout out to my man, Manager Calvin. But the cool thing is this, man. We got a lot of news that possibly Errol the True Spence may be making his way back to the ring after I thought he was gone. What you guys think about Errol possibly coming back?
Hey, I mean, if he looks good, I'm not going to throw the fighter away because he had one loss. I mean, like I said, everybody said Bud Crawford is number 1 pound for pound. Well, if you get in there with the guy that's number 1, you expect him to get beat. So I'm not going to throw him away because he had one loss. I just want to see how he looks coming back because he's been out for over a year once again, and he's working with a new trainer. Don't know how he's going to look. I mean, every time a fighter, especially a fighter at his age, gets with a new trainer, you don't know how that fighter is going to perform in the ring, and especially coming off a long layoff as well.
Yeah, I mean, the cool thing about it is this, man. I know that when Errol comes up there, man, he just brings a level of excitement to boxing that we missing. Because when he came in the house for that Fundora fight, I mean, the whole room lit up when Errol came out. Looked like a linebacker, but the whole room lit up.
But keep it a bean, though, BVO. Wasn't you happy to see him, though?
I was happy to see him. I mean, I've always been a big EJ fan. Most people were friends of him, man. I salute to my brother Aaron in the chat. But I'll say this, man. I think the wild thing is this. People don't understand that EJ could have been a superstar, man. And I'm just wondering, can he get back to that, or is he ever going to be that again? Because truth be told, the kid got everything you want in a fighter, man. He can fight, you know.
You can sell.
He used to have that S curl. Everybody love that S curl on him. Just a really good fighter,
S
man. And he
curl.
fight the Mexican style. So I see what's going on, man. I definitely would love to see EJ in the ring. Sources say that that fight's not official, so don't get too excited. But I'll tell you this. I'm excited either way it goes because I think EJ brings such an excitement to the game that we don't have, man.
Yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, I like EJ. I don't like him, inactive like he is. But like Free said, we don't like the throwaway fighters after one loss. He lost to the best guy, and we want to see him get back. I want to see him
Well, he
get
didn't
back.
lose to Canelo, so let's not say he lost to the best guy. He didn't lose to
Man,
Canelo.
he lost to the best welterweight, and uh, I want to see what he got left because they writing him off, man. A lot of people throwing EJ away, especially the hardcore Terrence Crawford fans. They're delusional at times.
Mhm.
Um, but everybody, even them, they're gonna watch EJ. It's gonna be.
Mhm.
I think he'll be all right, bro. But Fedora ain't gonna be easy though, man. Because if EJ can't get in there, he gonna have a long night with Fedora. Fedora, he kind of lanky, man.
Yeah, salute to my man, Prison Talk with my man, brother Tommy.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
salute
this
time.
though. No matter how it plays out, man, I think Arrow's probably going to get beat to death. But at the end of the day, man, he had a good career. I mean, we talking about Fedora. Fedora's going to really hurt him. That's what
Think
Fedora
so?
does. He gonna skin him. You know, Errol Spence call himself the big fish. He might get filleted. Um, it's that simple, man. Because you talking about Fedora. Fedora, other than my man Jamel Charlo, I think Fedora is the best fighter at 154. Other than of course, my guy Jamel Charlo. That's just my humble opinion, because I can't see nobody beating him. I just don't see that happening, no way. But I will say this though, and I'll ask you this, Free. When
Mm.
you think about the way EJ got beat to death, do you think that really is gonna mess with his psyche?
It could. It could. Um, Especially if he starts to have trouble with his timing and his distance. Um, it very well could play a part on his mental, because a lot of these fighters, when they've been undefeated for so long and they finally take a loss and they take a bad loss, it tends to mess with their head. So it we got to see how he performs. Like I said, and he's working with a new trainer. You
Who is
start
the
to
trainer,
second guess
Free?
yourself. I
Who is
don't
the
know.
trainer? We don't
I don't
know.
know.
Wow.
I mean, the thing that's so crazy about EJ is EJ is starting to have slow speech. He's reminding me a lot of Riddick Bowe. I don't know if people remember Big Daddy Bowe used to be a pretty good talker, but he wasn't a big talker. But you know, I think when we see Errol when he gets old, he gonna have a slow speech. Because his speech is getting horrible now. So I can't imagine after another beating what happened. So I don't know. I'll tell you this though.
Damn, real prison talk said EJ finished. That's crazy. Why you tossing him
Um,
away, homie? Why? Why you doing that,
I will
Tommy?
say this: EJ had a good run, but EJ showed a true thing. Nice guys finish last. He should have never fought. He had no business fighting Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is an evil, dark skinned dude. Went in there, beat him to death. Wouldn't give him a rematch. I mean, it is what it is, man.
Oh,
Terrence
that
Crawford.
you see that? That's none of that's true. What you said just now.
Yeah. I mean, he evil little dude. But I ask you this though: when you think about EJ, man, you know a fighter I always wanted to see EJ. I always want to see him versus Keith Thurman. How you think that fight would have played out, Free?
I think EJ would have beat Keith Thurman. That's why Keith
Mhm.
Thurman didn't want to fight.
Mm.
Mhm. He would have been to the body too. You know, Thurman don't like them body
No,
shots. So
it's hard for me to say a fighter will beat another fighter when you don't take the fight.
Hmm.
You could say what you're going to do, but if the opportunity and is there and the fighter wants to make the fight, there's no reason why you don't make that fight. If the opportunity is there for you to take that fight and the money is there, is no reason for you not to take that fight. You can't just tell me that you're going to beat somebody. You got to show me. If you turn down the fight and you didn't try to make a fight with this guy, you can't tell me that you going to beat him or he could have won. I mean, that's
I
just
just
how I
say
look
this,
at
man.
it.
I'll just say this because you making some good points. My man Tommy said I heard EJ shot.
And
Um,
Tim Layton said, "Life outside the ring caused an early demise for him."
yeah,
I
I
can't argue
always
with too many
wonder
of them
who was
times.
chasing EJ in that car. I always wonder who was chasing EJ in that car.
That's
Um,
irrelevant. Who said he was running?
it looked like he was running. I mean, hey,
Why? You
free.
got to. You
You gonna
wouldn't
drive
test your
20 miles an hour
Lamborghini?
unless somebody chasing you?
What?
Somebody was
How you
chasing
know
you,
that he
man. I
just
don't know who
wasn't?
was, but somebody was chasing.
How you know he just wasn't driving fast in his car? You know,
No,
people get Lamborghinis, BVO, and Ferraris, and they drive them fast. You know, they push them to $120.
we waiting on you, Bruce. Salute to my man Bruce Gale. We waiting on you, dog. I
Salute,
sent you
bro.
the link. You see,
I don't think EJ's shot though. Y'all throwing him away too early. We gotta wait to
he
see.
finished. He
We
finished.
we gotta wait to see if he gets smoked by Fondor or his next fight he get beat up like it looks like that resembles the Terrence Crawford fight. Then I'll be like, okay, EJ, just stick. You still young, hang out with your family. You got your young boy now, and just chill on your farm and just you got the money and just fall back. You know,
You know
but
what would have been? You know what would have been a good fight, man? Devin Haney versus Devin Haney versus
Ko.
Devin Haney versus Arrow. I thought that would have been a good fight. I know it's a different
these two,
generation, but I
huh?
would have loved them seeing Devin Haney versus Arrow. That would have been crazy.
That's what I'm saying, Aaron. It's a fast car. What he a young boy. You know what I'm saying? He probably was going crazy.
Hey,
BBO has this notion that somebody was chasing them. I don't know where
I
it
don't
comes
know.
from.
I don't have a notion of nothing. I just know somebody was chasing him.
How?
Well, what
It
happened,
looked like
BVO? Salute to everybody, man. Pardon my manners. What's going on, family? How
What's
y'all
going on?
doing,
What's
man?
going on?
Crush.
I don't know. Everybody assumed that somebody was chasing him because of that whole situation that was going on with Yellow Beezy and the other dude that passed away. So
The
they just
rapper
figured
Mo
somebody was chasing.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just figured somebody was chasing him. I don't know if it was true or not. Nobody. I mean, if they was, I didn't see nobody behind him when he got
Right.
to the cars, and I ain't seen no other car on the street. So I
No.
don't know if he was or not. But I mean, it is what it is.
I asked
I
you this,
think he
Chris.
just banged out BV. I don't think nobody was chasing him. I think he was just probably, he might have been a little saucy or whatever, like people like to say. I'm not saying he was, but that could have been possible.
He
And he
liked the
probably would just
like, like the
whip
sauce.
willing and he banged out.
Yeah, he liked the sauce, man. They say keep a cooler, a tall boy in his car. He liked that sauce, man. But I'll say this, man. The no matter how it go, man, EJ had a good run. I really miss him in boxing. I feel like he just really should have just did what he was supposed to do, man. Live the fighter life outside the ring, and he didn't. To be honest, the last time we seen EJ was when he fought Sean Porter many years ago. I don't know if you guys remember that fight. That was a beautiful fight.
That was a fun fight, yeah.
EJ is about to lose, and
No,
he
he
got
wasn't.
He's fun though. He
It was, it was a close fight. It was a good fight, and it was two A fighters in there, and one was better.
yeah. But the funny thing about it, man, when I think about EJ, he's definitely a story about what could have been. He really wasted his career, and he wasted a lot of time being injured, just doing stupid stuff. So I always fault EJ for that. I feel like he robbed us as the fans of a Hall of Fame career because he just could not stay focused. And he's a prime example of what happens when you don't stay focused, man.
I don't agree with. I don't agree with
I don't
that.
know what you're talking about.
Right, he had a fantastic
EJ
career.
didn't waste no opportunity. He never took a tune up. He went straight after the big fights. He never took a tune up. So I don't know what opportunity he wasted. Though he gave us the undisputed fight at 147. I don't know. The only other fight that he didn't give us was the Manny Pacquiao. That's the only fight. But
That's
a
a
lot
big
of people
fight.
had him.
That's a big fight.
Well, he got hurt though.
I
He
mean,
got hurt.
whether it's a big fight or not, that's not wasting your career. That's one fight. That's one fight. He didn't waste his career. Manny Pacquiao was a generation above him. So a lot of people had him destroying Manny Pacquiao.
And
A
he
lot of
would
people
have.
didn't want to see that fight because Manny
And you
Pacquiao
know
was
what's
way
funny?
past his
What if
prime.
what if Manny would have stopped him? What if Manny
What
would have
if?
stopped?
What if is the question? What if? I just
And
don't. I
that's a
don't
big
think
if.
that it was a.
Hold on,
It
hold
was
on,
a.
1 second. I got my
Oh,
guy
nigga,
in the
fine.
house, man. He don't come out
Oh,
much,
the OG. Wait a
but
minute.
I got
Hold
my
up.
man Uncle Bruce. What's going on, man?
Bruce.
Salute, salute.
And you know I had to bring Bruce in here because Bruce is a real live box historian, man, like my man Cash. And I want to ask you this because you're gonna be able to answer this, Bruce. How good is EJ and how will he be remembered? That's one thing I want to know from you, man.
Damn. I mean, a great welterweight. I mean, I'm looking forward to the Fedora fight. That's I just read that today that it's scheduled. Errol. I think Errol got lazy towards the end of his career. I don't think he put everything into it. But he had the car accident. The 2 car accidents. He had a tough road. Yeah, he had a tough road to go, and I think he kind of liked the easy life. He liked the party. He liked the drink, and it's real tough to put that aside when you want to become the best in your division. I think he's a top welterweight, but not the best. And
Right.
it showed that when he fought Bud Crawford. He just didn't have that desire, the eye of the tiger, so to speak. And you got to have that extra edge. Physically, he's got all the gifts, but I think that mental lapse, the booze, the worrying about the eyes, the eye surgery. He said he had a lot of things he has to overcome. And is he going to be in good enough shape to take on Fedora? It's going to be interesting, and that's kind of going to probably define his career.
So let me ask you, Bruce, would you
That was
say
strong.
EJ is like a little less than Iran Barkley as a fighter?
Oh man, I can't compare the two. Different eras, different fighters. Iran's a hard luck guy, man. Iran Barkley was a great fighter, and he stayed too long at the game, and maybe Errol's doing the same thing. I don't know, but man, that's a tough comparison. Tough comparison. Iran Blade Barkley, three division world champion, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. A lot of people think he should be. It's probably going to be the same said when Errol Spence retires too. Should he be in the Hall of Fame or not? Man, Iran Barkley he's a different era. He's the kind of a guy, blue collar. If he didn't fight, he didn't eat. He never had that big fight that he could retire on and have that generational wealth. Where Errol Spence, he had it a lot easier, I think, than Iran Barkley.
Yeah, I mean, I think what my man Brooklyn Tommy said is wrong. I won't say he's the best welterweight we've seen since Sugar Ray Leonard because that would go to Floyd. I mean, Floyd to me was a terrific welterweight. So I really couldn't even. He's not. I would say, I honestly would have to say Errol will be towards the bottom of the list when it comes to welterweights all time because there's so many great ones, man. People forget, about somebody.
Hey, yo,
Go ahead.
hold on. Yo, I ain't gonna say nothing. My bad. My apologies.
Yeah,
I'm reading these comments.
yeah, we not worried about comments, but I'll say this.
Yeah, kick out Aaron. Aaron, what's up, bro? What's
Hold on. Hey, you messed up the show, bro. We going something else, man. But let me ask you this. So when we talk about great fighters, I would say this. I think EJ really, to me, Bruce, underachieved because he had it all. He could have been like Hearns. And wasn't able to do that. So that's the thing I'm saying. I'm wondering, like, why was he not able to get to that next level? You know what I mean?
Well, man, like you said, all the injuries, and boxing's not like it was back then. Back then, you pretty much got into a room, you put a fight together. Now you have so many lawyers, so many bean counters. You got concession people. You got fucking copyright people. It's a different game. Fights don't just get made. It takes years to put together a high quality fight. So it's not the same. You really can't compare yesterday's fighters to today's fighters. It's a different sport basically.
Yeah. The crazy thing I will say though that I wonder is the sport really is that different from the '90s to now, or is it just me kind of romanticizing the past? What would you say?
I don't know, guys. I think it's changed 1,000%. You know, because with all this internet, see, fighters back then, fighters had to stay active to be recognized. Now the internet, we keep these guys out there. We keep their names out there in the light. So they only have to fight once a year because we're talking about them every show, every day. You know, we talk about Canelo. He fights once a year. And we can't stop talking about Canelo. You know, it's the internet's just so prominent now that it's different. We keep boxing more alive. Where back then they had to produce. They had to keep their name in the paper. They had to keep their self on TV, on whatever platforms. Now boxing's everywhere. I think there's live boxing tonight. You know, I mean, it's crazy. There's just there's so much action going on.
Yeah. I'll ask you this, and this is just me wondering, when you see, like, you know, fight like we've been seeing with the heavyweight divisions, Deontay Wilder going to sleep, one of my favorites, AJ going to sleep. Is this good for the division, or is this like showing that this division has always been weak?
Exciting, you know. Keep these guys fighting. I don't have any vested interest in any fighters today. I just want to see the best fight each other, and you know, His Excellency Turkey Al Sheikh seems to be keeping that going, man. Especially with the heavyweights. Can you imagine where boxing would be without that guy today? And the heavyweights, man, he's just putting together fights that take years to make, and he's just saying, you know, hey, here's the money, here's the venue, here's the date, and bango, we're seeing one after another. So this is a great time to be a boxing fan, man. It really is.
So I ask you this. This is just something that's been on my mind. One fighter, I want to talk about some what ifs. That's why I wanted my man Bruce. Did you really keep up with Gary Russell Jr.'s career?
Not a lot, because that was a, you know, when he was active, that's a time when I had my business. I was working 10-hour days, you know, 6 days a week, and I wasn't involved in boxing like I am now. Now, man, now it's not hard to be a boxing fan when you don't have much else to you know, you're not punching a 9 to 5. But you know,
yeah.
the Russells, great fighting family, but once again, so much squabble between money. You know, he had his contract signed with PBC. He had to get 7 figures per fight, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't get the fight, so he just remained inactive, and you know, he lost a lot of.
And the reason I say that is, I feel like with Gary Russell Jr., I want to know if you agree with this. I think he is another guy who kind of wasted some of his talent because he was so focused on fighting the best guys and not getting out there fighting. And it's funny because I got to speak to him a couple weeks ago, and I think the thing that he doesn't understand is that he was so talented, it didn't matter who he fought. We want to see him in the ring. Do you think boxers lose sight of fighting the fights that they don't want to fight? Because we just want to see you in the ring. I mean, Ali took some fights that we didn't all want to see, but he was in the ring.
Yeah, I mean, you can afford to fight tune-up fights. You can take fill-in fights as long as you're active. But you know, they just don't do that anymore. You know, if people are saying to Spence, take a tune-up fight before Fundora, but damn, at the rate he's fighting, if he takes a tune-up fight, he won't be fighting Fundora till 2026. You know, I mean, I don't see anything wrong. I don't see anything wrong with taking lesser quality fights, but you gotta fight more often. But that's just not going to happen. Fighters don't do that anymore. It's that's a different era.
Yeah, and I'll bring Free. I know Free got a couple questions for you because Free is like me. He's a big fan.
My man. I see Free all the time, man. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to take a leak. I'll turn YouTube on. And I'll see Free doing a live. I'll say, when does this motherfucker sleep, man?
Yeah. What fight are you looking forward to in the future? I'm not even not. It don't even have to be this year. What fight are you looking forward to be made?
I love the heavyweight division, and right now I think the heavyweight division is as hot as it's ever been since the '80s. I mean, you can name every heavy. You could just keep going right after another, and when these guys start to mesh, if there was a tournament, but man, like we saw Dubois the other night. I don't know if I want to see him again in there with Usyk or with Tyson or even with Tyson Fury. You know, those fights don't really interest me because we've already seen them. But I would like to see Usyk with Caballero. That would be a killer fight with who's the other big dude, the guy that knocked out Anderson.
McCauley.
You talking about McCauley? Mark
McCauley. Yep. I mean, that's just any of those fights at heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
A particular fight, man. There's really not one particular fight. I just want to see the continuation of the best fighting the best until we ultimately have number one dude out there. Because I mean, you can't deny Usyk's not the best heavyweight out there right now because he's beaten everybody out in his path, and he's beaten the top three. So I mean, just keep having them fight each other. Let Usyk and Fury do their thing, and let Turkey Alish just keep proposing these matchups, and I'm with them all the way, man. I like I said, Usyk and McCauley, fucking Danny Dubois against any of the aforementioned. You could just go into the top 10 heavyweights, and they're all, you know. We saw Torres the other day, and who's the guy who knocked him out in the amateurs?
Right. What, in your opinion, what era do you believe was the best era of the sport of boxing?
80s. Late 70s, early 80s. You had boxing on Wide World of Sports. Cable was just coming in, so you had Tuesday night fighting, you had Friday night fights. It was almost as much exposure as there is now, but the quality of it just blew what's on now away. I bought the Sunday paper. The first thing I do was pull the TV section out and see who's fighting on Saturday, and man, you'd see like Alexis Aguayo against Ray Boom Boom Mancini. You know, Sugar Ray Leonard and Bruce Curry. Just it's like, wow, this is Saturday. No build up, no talking on the internet, no who's better. It's just bango. It's like this fight is next week, and I think that was the best era.
You know what I'll say, Bruce?
That's what's up.
I'll say this, Bruce. I don't know. I know you remember this. I remember there was a time when I would have to walk down to the store to get my grandmother a long distance card. And I remember, like, she couldn't call long distance unless you had that card. And it always made me laugh. I said that to say, it's funny how, remember when people be on long distance? Hey, I'm on long distance. Hold on. It was a big deal. I think the game, just like phones, I feel like boxing has changed too. People have changed. I think the access is way more accessible. And one thing I will say, though, Bruce, everybody's making Muhammad Ali money. There was only a time that only Muhammad made that kind of money. But everybody seems to be making Muhammad Ali money. I remember was that Ernie Shavers was saying, no, Ron Lau, he was saying, what would you be talking to me right now for if I wouldn't have fought Ali? For what? I just always thought about that. You know, Ali went to Ken Norton. Ken Norton was out of his home. He's about to have to move in with his father, and his father said, no, you got to go down to the homeless shelter. And Ali fought him and changed his life. I think that's the biggest difference, too. We don't have just a main guy like Ali who will run through the division and fight everybody, and he'll do it with a smile on his face. I think we're missing that. I think we're missing because Tank isn't that. Floyd was that somewhat. Floyd would give guys opportunity. Oscar would definitely give people opportunities. I feel like the new guys now, Canelo and Tank, have been the worst kings of boxing we ever seen because they got all the notoriety and they don't share it. They They don't look to fight. Now you know for a fact Shakur couldn't exist in Ali's presence. You can't be that good and exist in his presence. You know what I mean? He's going to have to flatten you. It's just how it goes. You know what I mean? Remember everybody was talking about. I know we all done seen that clip where Ali looked back at his team and said, "What y'all so scared for? I'm the one that got to go fight." But you cannot exist in Ali's presence being that good. I'm just wondering, do you think the mindset's changed? Because I'm thinking I love Canelo, I love Tank, but I think those two have actually ruined boxing for this generation. What do you think?
That's crazy.
Oh, Big Child, what's going on, my brother?
What's going on, Tom?
T, salute to
Can you
one
hear
in
me?
the chat.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Bruce?
Killer.
Oh, he must be
I
smoking.
can hear you. I was waiting for Bruce to respond because that
Oh,
question.
man. No, I'm waiting for you guys to respond. So I feel like I'm getting grilled over here. I'm the only
Yeah.
You
the other one putting you on the spot. He put you on the spot.
That's what we're here for. We're here to grill you. We got to grill
All
you.
right, man. Okay. See this this cone that I rolled up today. I put some crumble in here. I got some Durban poison in here, and I got some fucking King Louis in here. And this is knocking the shit out of me. I'm enjoying just listening to you cats. And I'm saying, hey man, I gotta start fucking talking myself over here. So what was the question? Excuse me.
I was just saying, with boxing being how it is, you know, we had kings in the past that if you were good, they were going to fight you just because you were good. I'm saying I feel like that Tank and Canelo, who are the two new kings now, have been horrible for the sport because they're not looking to make the best fights. They're looking to make the most money. Do you think that's bad for the sport?
Yeah. It ain't good for the sport.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, with Canelo, there's one fight we want to see. I don't even want to say it, man. We've been waiting for that fight for years. Mike Tyson had him call him out on his fucking show, and that's been canceled for 2 years. I mean, shit, you know? We've been waiting for this fight forever. Canelo sidestepping. He's fighting the Hammernaga Balanga. I mean, this is the face of boxing. You know, if you look behind me, I got a box of Wheaties with Muhammad Ali's face on there. And that's how you become the face of boxing. See, because everybody knew Muhammad Ali. Even if you weren't a boxing fan, you knew Muhammad Ali. You mention the name and it turns heads. There ain't fighters out there today that can do that. You know, when Ali fought, it was a party. People had real fight parties. I mean, you know, people talk about it now, but not. I don't hear of any fight parties. My fight party's sitting here streaming a freaking pay-per-view with me and my dog. That's, you know, they don't show these main events. They don't come on until midnight on the East Coast, and that's not going to draw fans. You know, Ali was on prime time. He was on, you know, when he fought Ernie Shavers, it was on from Madison Square Garden. It was on prime time NBC TV. When he fought Leon Spinks, it was the same thing. It was on CBS prime time in the evening. It was a different thing. Now you'll never see that. You just don't see that anymore. Now you see these fights you have to pay for, and you have to stay awake until 2 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast to watch them. And by that time, man, I'm like this. It's difficult to be a fan of boxing today. You know, back then it was easy because every bar you went into, they had the fights. If they were on an Ali fight, it was on the tube. It was on the whole bar's rooting for it. When Ken Norton fought Jimmy Young from Puerto Rico, George Foreman fought Jimmy Young from Puerto Rico. That was Thursday night. It was on live on ABC's Wide World of Sports, and every fucking bar was watching that. It was going crazy. George Foreman got upset. People were screaming in the streets, Foreman got beat by Jimmy Young. And people knew who you were talking about. You go out in the streets now and you say, Canelo just got dropped by freaking Balanga. They think you were crazy. They said, this fucking nut in the street yelling about it. You know, it's just that there is no more face of boxing. People say the face of boxing is Tank, the face of boxing is Canelo, the face of boxing is blah, 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 blah. Nah. The face of boxing is in commercials. They're on billboards. You just ask somebody boxing and bang, they'll say the name. Sugar Ray Leonard was the face of boxing. You know, Ali was the face of boxing. Mike Tyson during his time was definitely the face of boxing, but today it's just all mismatches. It's all over the place, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna play. I gotta pay a quick bill real quick. Let me pay this commercial.
It's time for another raffle brought to you by the JBT. Our first item is a new 10th generation iPad with a liquid retina display which shows off beautiful color and has plenty of power for all your handheld computing needs. Great for work, play, or just movies on the go. How much is it to enter, you ask? Just $10. Or you can catch the deal with 3 entries for just $25. It's easy to enter. Just cash app your entries to $JBT Network 1. That's $JBT Network 1. Our second item is a set of Kenichi Bear Bluetooth noise canceling headphones. Great for gaming, movies, or travel. As the second prize in this great raffle, our third item is a Ninja brand air fryer. Great for all your air frying needs. Cooking healthy with the JBT. So send your entries via Cash App to JBT Network 1. That's JBT Network 1. $10 each or 3 for $25. Put raffle on the comment line and you are entered. It's time for another LeBron James.
But I'll say this. The funny thing about it, man, when you think about boxing, I'm telling you, Bruce, I just miss, and I'm sure my man T Hill is gonna say something because T Hill is the official ambassador for Tank Davis, so I know he's gonna say something about this. But
That's crazy.
I'll say this: I just wish I wish people like Devin Haney or guys like Teofimo Lopez were the faces of boxing because we would get all the fights. We get all the fights. And I'll ask you this, Free. You know, Free, sometimes you choose to be unbiased. I'll ask you this, Free. Do you think if Devin Haney and Tio were the faces of boxing, we would see more big fights?
Well, T.O. had that opportunity to take the bull by his horns and run with it.
Mm-hmm.
He chose to play games with it, and he ended up fumbling the bag with the Cambosa fight. He had that opportunity. He could have went right in there and fought Devin Haney and made a big splash. I mean, either Devin Haney would have won or T.O. would have won, but it would have been for undisputed. And he fumbled the bag. So I don't know if we would have got the big bag with T.O. Devin Haney, he looks like the type that goes after the big fights. I would say we probably would have got big fights with Devin Haney. I don't know about that with T.O.
I wouldn't say T.O., but Devin Haney definitely. Because T.O. will get to be the pound for pound #1 and all the belts and all that. And he'll start fighting Claggets and Liams and all kind of other names from the UK and all these guys. But Devin Haney will go in there and get knocked out. I like fighters like that. If you go in there and get knocked out, if he goes in there and fights Boots Ennis at welterweight and he do something crazy and go in there and gets knocked out, I ain't gonna just stop liking Dev. That's savage for him to do that. So I like fighters that go in. I don't care if you got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 losses. Hell, I like Emmanuel Augustus. How many losses he got? I like him. He got 20-something losses.
He got robbed a lot of those fights.
Exactly. So I don't care about his losses. I still rock with him when he had him on Thursday night fights and when USA was playing fights and all that. I would watch him, bro. I didn't care if he won or lost. He was fun to watch.
You know, that's the thing, man. Today these fighters are so afraid of getting that L.
Oh my God, it's embarrassing.
They're petrified of getting an L. I was on the panel with on Jay's Old Timers the other day, and Bernard Hackett is on there, and he was just talking about how carefully he's managing his son, and he said the scariest thing is getting that L at this stage of your career, and I'm saying no. That's not the L is not the thing you should be afraid of. It's how you take that L if it even comes. You got to be ready for that because this is boxing, and you have to put yourself through the test. But he's like, no, that L just is not in the picture. It's not going to happen. We he was afraid of it, and I said, when a fighter wins, that shows his talent, but the way he handles a loss, that shows a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
But today the fighters just don't think like that. They all want to get that Floyd 50-0 kind of a thing.
And if they do lose, they just melt. They have a meltdown. You don't see them for 15, 18 months. I hate
Really?
it.
Oh, really? You know how many fighters I've seen just improve with that L? I mean, going all the way back to my buddy Witherspoon, got his first L fighting Larry Holmes in a 12-round split decision, and he just got better and better. Just got right back up. He won the heavyweight title twice after that. Tommy Hearns, we were just talking about him. His first loss to Leonard. What did he do after that? Won 6 world titles. I mean, shit, man. That L can be it's L's for a learning experience. You take that. Sugar Ray Robinson really had fucking.
That's what I was saying.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, go ahead, because you love interrupting. Go ahead.
Once I get interrupted, I lose my fucking train of thought. It's just holding.
My bad. Let me just say this.
Go ahead, the floor is yours, dog. Go ahead.
And now, BVO.
Like Jamel did, I feel like Jamel really improved from getting robbed by Tony Harrison. I seen him really improve his game. I thought he lost to Brian Castano the first time, but he came back and knocked him out. I really want to see what happened after he fought an all-time legendary fighter like Canelo, because when you in there with a guy you could almost say is mythical out here as a fighter, because people don't know him beating, as my man Bruce called him, ham and egg, Balanga.
That was crazy.
Beating up Taco Mugia. He go in there. If he go in there and beat David Benavidez, I'm telling you, Bruce, they're gonna remember this kid as something special, because he beat all the young guys too. He only got one young guy left, and that's my man Benavidez. Well, I think he'll beat the socks off of him. I don't know why he won't take that fight, but I think other than that, he'll beat the socks off him. But a fighter I gotta ask you about, and I'm gonna ask the whole panel about, what do you guys think about this young monster man, Emiliano Vargas? Just stopped the guy last week. Easy. What you guys think about him? I'll start with you, T. You've been quiet, bro.
Okay, well, first off, shout out to my man Tim Layden, my man Ace Boogie, Real Prison Talk with Tommy, the Melanin Queen, Just Spark. Let me see who else we got up in the building. We got Bruce Gas on the panel, BVO Cap himself on the panel. We got my man Big Drop Dre, always giving what I'm saying, the best drops in the business. We got Juan Claudio, my guy.
Yeah, shout out Juan.
Shout out Juan. Yeah, hey, he ain't
rock
gonna
with Juan.
If he got it, man. You got GD, you know what I'm saying? And with that, Emiliano got a bright future, man. He's got tremendous pedigree with his lineage and his father. He got that father's determination and will. He's got some skills. I think he's too much more of a showman, and I think you need to check that, because you can't be celebrating and grandstanding in the ring with your opponents as they get higher in level. Like, there's only been 1 or 2 or 3 maybe fighters who ever did that successfully and still maintain great poise in that ring. So he's gonna have to change that up, and he got to stop switching stance in the fight, because he leaves himself open when he does that. But he does have a powerful punch. He does have some pretty fast hands, and he works levels pretty well. I think he needs to work on changing the angles a little bit more fluidly, and I think that he needs to continue to work the body like he does. He does pretty good work on the body every now and again. So if he continues to do those things and mature with his placement for his punches and his ring generalship, he's gonna be a tough force to come. I like him. I think his future is bright.
I like him too, T. I like him. I think he's tough. Somebody FaceTime me. Go ahead. I'm gonna pass it off. I got to take that.
Go ahead, Free.
No, I think Emiliano Vargas is a good young prospect. I think he still has some holes in his defense that he needs to work on, and rightfully so. He's only 20 years old. I think he has a little bit too much bravado. I think he needs to. I think he needs to dial it down some because
I agree.
um, that can ultimately get him caught with a shot that he's not expecting. Um, but I think he does have a bright future. I mean, maybe in the future when they get about probably about 3-4 more years from now, I think him and Abdullah Mason will be a hell of a fight because
Yeah.
Abdullah Mason is another one of those young bright prospects that's coming up. But I think both of them still need some more experience. But they both going in the right direction. They both getting fights to get them ready for those contender fights that they're going to get in the future.
Um, go ahead, Bruce.
Oh, I mean, he comes from a great pedigree. Still too. I haven't seen enough of him to really come to any conclusions. But I mean, if he's anything like his dad, he's got the bravado, like you said, and he's not afraid to stick his face in any situation. Unfortunately, a little lacking on defense, a little too much machismo, not not enough side to side, which was his father's problem when he fought the top of the division. But man, he was entertained the other night. I think he was the only guy in the card that got a knockout on that the zone card. But I'll watch him, I'll follow him, and we'll see where he goes.
Yeah, I think what Free and Bruce both said is just absolutely true, man. The dude got to get that defense together. I mean, his defense is horrible, Bruce. You were being nice. Free was being nice. His defense is horrible. He is so easily hit. It's like you got to watch that, man. Like that old thing that Lennox was saying about Tyson. You're going to see Abdullah one day. You can't get hit like that. If you're going to see Abdullah one day, you can't get hit like that because the dude hit him. And I thought to myself, he didn't have to earn that. But Emiliano was earning every shot he took. And it's like, he got to work on that. Because I think what Free did say was, and it's surprising the Puerto Rican was right on with that. Salute to my man God's property. But he really got a big ego. You can see it. You can see it, Bruce. Like, he do something, he want to be on his chest. Like a King Kong. I don't know what it is, man. He do anything. He hit you with a nice jab. You see him in the corner telling his dad what he did. It's like he admires his work way too much. But I do think he stops Abdullah Mason. But I think he admires his work way too much. He
That's
definitely.
crazy. My apologies. I had a phone call. My daughter called. I had to answer that. But now I was about to say the kid. I like the kid a lot. I do like to see. I want to see him clean up some defense. But and I know y'all say y'all don't like him styling, but I like that. You know what I mean? He's having fun in there, and that sometimes you having fun, you at your best. When you're having fun, and it's not so much of a job or so stressful. He's in there having fun styling. Yeah, he do be getting caught sometimes, but he can clean that stuff up. He's trying to sell tickets and be a pay-per-view star. He has the look. He has the skills to do it. Will he do it? I'm rooting for him. Because I like his dad. I like his other brother too, but I like him the most right now. He tough, and I'm rooting for the kid. I'm rocking with him.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to BVO.
That's crazy.
BVO had to take it. Relax. So go on, D-Free. Take over, man.
Yeah, Free.
I mean,
what's that in the background?
What's in my background?
I hear. Is that our show in the background?
No, that's my grandkids. That's my grandkids.
No, not the kids. I hear talking like.
Yeah, that's my grandkids. They got their TV on. But what y'all think about Alicia Bungardner fighting this weekend? She got a fight coming up this weekend. I didn't even know until this morning that she actually has a fight coming up this weekend because I didn't hear nothing
What
about
she
it.
fight on the zone? And that hoodie is fire, by the way, D3. That hoodie.
No,
Hold up, Free. Hold up. Free.
She's not fighting on the zone. She's not with Matchroom anymore. She's fighting on Brinks
D3
TV.
is cooking. D3. Your hoodie is fire, and carry on.
Oh, appreciate it. Yeah. But yeah, she's fighting on Brinks TV. She's not with the zone anymore. She left Matchroom.
So how do
So
we watch the
I never
fight?
heard of Brinks TV. They said it's a free app that you can get on your phone. But that's what she's fighting on.
Damn, I never heard of
Um,
that. It's free. It's a free app. We just download it and watch the fight.
yeah, they said it's a free app you can download to watch the fight. Never heard of them before. So I don't know. I mean, it's good to see her back in the ring because she hasn't
Yeah.
been in the ring since the last fight with the rematch of the girl that beat her.
Shout out to
Um,
Kareem. What's that girl name that beat her?
I can't think of her name. I can't think of her name right now. Yeah, it
I'm just
slipped my
happy to
mind
see
right
her. I
now.
like her. I want her to win, but she's trying to get her get back. So shout out to her. Shout out to the Alicia.
Yeah, and then we got the prospect fights this weekend. We got Shushu, we got Tiger
Yeah,
Johnson, we got
I'm excited for that.
Zayas. He's fighting this weekend. They all fighting in New York.
What's that on, Free?
Huh?
What's that on? What network?
That's they ESPN fighters.
All right.
Those
ESPN
ESPN
Plus.
fighters.
Yeah.
They fighting this weekend in New York at I believe it's at Madison Square Garden. I
Damn.
believe it's in the Hulu Theater.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see what Xander Zayas is going to do
Yeah.
because he's trying to make his way to a title fight. This going to be. I think Xander Zayas he's going to get the win, but this is another step up fight for him. I want to see how he looks in this fight because I think the next, if not the next fight, the fight after that, they're going to try to get him in a title fight.
Who he rumbling, Free? Zaire. Xander Zaire. Who he rumbling?
Xander Zayas is fighting. Hold on, let me pull it up.
Damian Sosa. Damian Sosa.
Yeah.
Sosa?
Yeah.
I never heard of him before. I'll look him up.
No, he's supposed to be a tough.
He's from Mexico.
Fighter.
He's 25-2, 12 knockouts. He's ranked number 4 in Mexico according to Box Rec, and he's ranked number 72 amongst 2,100 freaking super welterweights in the world. So he's
Well,
you know what he's brought in.
I want to see Tiger fight, and I want to see what did you say, Free?
Shushu.
I want to see Bruce Carrington fight. I do want to see those. What time it start? Tell her, educate the people.
The fight card comes on. Hold on, what time the card comes on?
ESPN probably be 8. Man,
It's gonna be on ESPN.
They've been coming on early lately.
No, ESPN don't come on early. That's the zone you thinking about.
Yeah.
ESPN don't come on early unless they got a lot of fights lined
They
up.
probably got 9 o'clock.
I mean, ESPN is gonna. Well, Michaela Mayer is fighting. Her ring walk is at 11, so that fight is probably gonna come on a little bit later than that.
Damn. That's crazy.
Michaela Mayer is the main event.
Yeah, you got. I mean, it's a decent card because Michaela Mayer is the main event. Xander Zayas is the co-main.
Yeah, so those will be on before.
So Tiger and Shushu is the other two. Probably Tiger fight.
Tiger is opening up the main event card, and then after him is Vito. Vito is fighting after him.
Vito Melnicki, yep. Vito Melnicki.
Yep. And then it's Shushu, and then it's Xander Zayas.
And then Michaela.
Yep.
I like the card. I ain't mad at the card. I just want to see the people fight. I don't even care who the stars fight, man. Just stay active. I don't care who they fight no more. Cause like Tank Davis, it's hard for him to get an opponent like you said, when was it? When was the last time you saw the cash cow can't get a fight? That's crazy. So it does. I'm just happy to see people be active at this point. And I know people's like, well, boxing's this and boxing's not going to make it, and this and that and the third. I'm one of the people that's loyal, and I'm loyal to the sport, and I just hope that it carries on. But I'm just happy to see the kids stay active, man.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
free. That's
This,
really really loud. It's
You
like we
said it
don't want to
what?
get a strike. It sounds like another video. It sounds like you don't want nobody. You know what I mean?
Oh no. Oh, you hear knockout. I got knockout on the background
Oh
on
yeah,
my
turn that
other
shit
on my
off, bro.
laptop.
Yeah, turn that shit off, bro. That shit is distorting the whole shit.
I'm looking this kid that Carrington's fighting, Solomon Sangia. He's been in the ring with Jermaine Ortiz, Abraham Supernova.
Hmm.
Mm.
So he's got some experience. So it should be a good test for Shushu.
Yeah, yeah. This another step up fight for Shushu as well. Um,
Yeah,
this a veteran fighter, and I mean we're gonna see what Shushu is really made of because he's in there with a veteran, and the guy is not like this. This is a moment that's too big for him. He's been in there with guys with bigger names than Shushu, so we're gonna see how he does.
yeah.
I
Mm.
think I
Hey,
think
salute to
Shushu is up for the
Kareem.
task.
Tom,
I want to
Kareem.
see Shushu make this fight easy for himself. The last fight, I think he could have made it easier. I know he was putting on a show for Brooklyn, but I think he could have made that fight a lot easier with the opponent that he was in there because that opponent didn't have nothing for him. Shushu was getting hit with shots that he normally don't get hit with. So I want to see him make this fight easy. I want to see him learn what he what he learned from the last fight to this fight.
I think he'd be okay because he was doing stuff. He was being a little extra and trying to be more, crowd pleasing. But I think Shusha will be fine. I know a lot of people don't like him. A lot of people do like him, but
well, you know, he's from Brownsville, so I
what that
mean,
mean?
I could I could see why people don't like him. I mean, he's not from East New York, but salute to Shushu. We get it. We got to do an interview with him. I think it was last year. But I'll say this: I really want to see Shushu fight somebody with a pulse. Um, you just won't know until you fight somebody with a pulse, man, because he been knocking guys out, but the guys he been knocking out have been, guys that came from like 118, little bitty guys. So I don't know how it goes. I like the interview he did with Keyshawn, because Keyshawn is a sleeper pick for me. If I wouldn't have heard about all the spawn and him getting beat half to death by by the Puerto Rican kid Shakur, I would think he was special, man. But the
Yeah,
word, the word, the word on through the motherland, Bruce, is that he was getting beat to death by Shakur.
Mhm. And what happened with him and Tank, BVO? Didn't they? They're not friends anymore now, or something like that.
Tank is sensitive, man. He might have said something like, "I want to fight you," and Tank took it the wrong way. So
That's crazy. I
it
don't do
is what
that.
it is.
No.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Maybe Bull a switch sider.
What are
Didn't
you
you
talking
say
about?
that? Didn't what's the little homie?
Hitchens, Africa switched sides, and I think the thing about
Oh,
speaking behind the scenes from different fighters and different people we know, insiders we know, Africa has been doing some bad business all through the city. And anybody that knows Hitchens knows he's been doing some
I got them
other
mixed
street
up.
food. It's a lot of guys he been like doing dirty out there. So Hitchens, he kind of flipped out on Shakur. And you know what, man? Come on, man. Everybody's not your friend. But one thing I wanted to ask you, Bruce, man, because one thing about you, man, you've been through a lot. So I want to ask you something that probably is nothing to do with boxing. But how did you get through your worst day, your worst situation? How did you get through
drugs.
Mm. It is what it is.
Hey,
Some
and on that note, it's your boy BVO Box. It's your boy Puerto Rican
well,
Free.
see, I
What?
made a lot of wrong turns in my life,
Yeah.
and you know
That was real though.
when when the shit got too hot for me to handle, man, I always found an escape route, and unfortunately, it was a bad escape route. But you know, that's all in my past. So
salute to you, man.
Salute to Bruce. And you know what?
Glad
One
to
thing
have you here.
Bruce did something I'll never forget, and I always thank you for this, Bruce. Put me on there with Tim Witherspoon. He didn't know Tim
That's
Witherspoon
dope.
was one of my heroes, man. So to have me on there with my
oh
hero,
shit, man, you should have
hey,
told
what's
me.
up?
I could have called Tim tonight. He would have come on.
Yeah. I didn't want to be in here fanned out because you got to remember Tim was always in Ohio, man. So Tim was my guy, man. So when I was on there with him, it was so hard not to just talk to him the whole time.
I'll tell you, it's so cool, man. I did when I first started my channel. It was his birthday, and he was my man. You know, when he was fighting, I love watching him box. Ever since Larry Holmes, I followed him, watched him. I was living with a girl from England, from Great Britain, the night that he knocked out Frank Bruno, and she's crying, man. She was a Bruno fan, and I'm fucking my man, terrible Tim. But I did a little video for, you know, it was his birthday, and I just wished him a happy birthday. I talked about the fights, the experiences I had watching him, and he got back to me and he says, "Man, that was really cool." I said, "That's not Tim Witherspoon. That's somebody." So I sent him my number, and he calls me up, and I'm like, "What the fuck, man?" And I went down there, I met him, went out and ate, and man, you know, I can call the cat up anytime. In fact, he gets pissed if I do a show and I didn't call him up. Like the other night, I did a fight card, and he goes, "Oh man, I was sleeping. Why didn't you call me up?" I'm like, damn, you know, I hate to impose on him, but he loves doing this, you know, and he's my age, and you know, we talk about the same shit, and I mean, it's just so, you know, and and like I said, BVO, we get him on here anytime you want, bro. Tim loves talking boxing, and man, that guy has got so many.
That would be fire.
Because like I said, I didn't when you said, "Yo, come on, I want you to come on the show with me," and I tell you what, Free, when I seen it with Tim Witherspoon, dog, I froze. I was like, "Whoa, he got my guy on here," because Tim Witherspoon used to train in a place called Orwell, which is not too far from this area. And you would get glimpses of him. You see him in his limo riding through Cleveland, riding through Akron.
Let me give him a buzz, see if he wants to talk some boxing.
Tim's my guy, man. Everybody knows Tim's my guy, man. I love Tim, man.
Salute to Tim.
I even like his little son. I even like his son who be talking crazy. I like him too. He be him and shout to my man Skywalker, man. Big Money Skywalker, working with Top Rank. Salute to him, man. Salute to my man Skywalker, man. I love that guy, man. He be jumping off buildings like Spider-Man. But we getting ready for the Rise podcast, y'all. Salute to
Rise.
Salute to my man Ace.
Oh, you guys are going through the right. I was going to call Witherspoon, see if you wanted to jump on.
No. We waiting on you to call him.
Oh, well, shit. We don't keep it
waiting
pushing.
on you to call him.
Timmy.
Hit him up.
What's up, brother? Not much, man. I was talking some boxing. You want to jump on? I said I'm talking some boxing with some of my brothers over here. Nah, just come on for a few minutes, okay? I'll send you a link. Look, check your email, okay? Yeah.
Yeah, we're sure.
Yeah.
I'm like you, BVO. That's my dude. You know what I mean?
Hey, Tim wasn't a big heavyweight either, man.
No.
But he wasn't a big guy, man.
My favorite ones when he slumped Bruno, BVO.
Where's the link? I got to send him the link.
Shoot. Let me send it to you.
No, just drop it in. You want to drop it in public, private, whatever. Right in the chat. I'll just copy it, paste it. I'll get him done. I'll get him in here, bro. He says, yeah, I'd come on talk some boxing.
Yeah, real quick, shout out to the Rise, but we gotta do what we gotta do too. Shout out to JBT, man. Forgive us, bro. This we rocking out, bro. It is what it is.
Yeah. Hey, you know what's so funny?
We love y'all.
When I watched that, when I was a kid watching that fight, but I tell you what, Bruce, I couldn't believe he could beat a dude that big. Pause. That dude, Frank Bruno was huge, man.
He smoked him.
I didn't see that happening, man. and that's even when he fought. Even when you think about him fighting, Larry Holmes, it was like he would fight these giants. And he was like regular size, man.
And I'll tell
Always
you,
thought that was cool.
Tim never gets tired of hearing that too. He loves coming on and talking
Oh
some more.
yeah.
And you're gonna see he's such a nice guy. And defense. What pisses him off the most today is fighters have no defense, because this guy was a defensive master. Bro, he was in there with the killer punches. The guys will take your head off, and he's still clear as a bell. You see some of these other guys who didn't have defense, and they can't put together a sentence.
Yeah. But you know what's funny? One thing about Tim, he made you earn every shot, man. That's one thing I always loved about him, man. Because telling you, man, people don't realize, man, to be in there with those giants, man, and he what, maybe 6'2", 6'1", you'd be like, how did he do it?
He's pretty big, man. I tell you, I stood next to him, and man, whew, if this guy was mad at you, he's a gentle giant, and I could see if he got an attitude, because all fighters, they have that little
that tip,
I don't know what you want to call it, man. Maybe it's a little bit of a on the tism line, but you get him pissed off, and man, you have to call the National Guard to stop this guy. And, his fists are as big as my head.
Yeah.
But
and I always got a kick out of like the fact that he was such a big guy, but always paid attention to defense. See, that's that Muhammad Ali, Jimmy Young stuff I love, where guys look, they're big, but they fight like welterweights and stuff. I love that.
We watched the fight the other night, and he was criticizing Joshua for the lack of defense, and then he's criticizing Dubois too. I mean, it's ridiculous the way a guy like that watches a fight. It's not like we watch it. It's almost like all of a sudden he's back in the ring, and he's ducking, he's weaving, and the punch is coming, and he's telling Bruce he's not blocking that left. You can see his hand, and it's instead of over here, it's down here. He's gonna get nailed with that counter, boom, and he does.
Yeah. One thing I learned in defense, I was watching some videos on defense. I understand now why they keep their hand like in front of their mouth, because it really can catch a lot of shots by keeping that hand by that mouth, man. Like, not so much, you don't necessarily have to hold it. You don't have to hold the phone, but you can just move that hand from your mouth to that ear. It was cool, man. You should have seen it. It was Manuel Stewart was breaking down defense, because he said that was one of the things a lot of people didn't give him credit for, is how all his fighters were pretty defensively sound. So I always thought that was cool, man. I definitely always thought that was cool.
You know what I want to ask big brother Tim, like when him and Bruno was rumbling, that 7th round, that was a good round, man. They was going back and forth. And I just want to know what was going through his mind, because Bruno was landing some shots, but I feel like he got the better off. And that's my favorite fight by him.
Yeah. Larry, you know what's funny? Talking about Larry Holmes, man. Larry Holmes was a master boxer, man. I was watching something with him, and I was just thinking to myself, like, you got to get past that jab. You got to get past them doggone angles.
And how he moved. Larry,
you know what's funny? Did you watch that fight with him and Tyson? That part he was talking about where his arm got stuck. I seen that. He's about to smash Mike.
No, he wasn't.
Dude, I'm talking about when
he wasn't.
against the rope.
BVO,
no, he wasn't.
He's about to smash you, man.
No.
BVO, keep your eye in the back room, man, so you don't miss him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. I thought he was about to smash Tyson, but Tyson, I feel like this. When Tyson was young, I don't think we've seen that in a long time. Just a Tasmanian devil almost. He was just in there wrecking people, man. I always love that about him.
Who, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike was a wrecking ball, man. He really was.
Yeah, Mike was fun. I went to see Mike when he did his thing out in Atlantic City, that one-man show. That joint was dope, bro. When he was doing that, he was going on tour, just telling his life story or whatever. Yeah, that joint was fun, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Champ, we got the champ in the house. What's up, man?
Yo.
Salute to the champ.
Tim.
Yo, what's up?
Champ, what's up, baby?
Hey, Tim,
Yeah.
Tim, these are my friends, man. This is D Free up there, man.
Hey
This
D.
is the prize fighter. You
Oh,
got BVO in here, man.
he's retired.
He's retired, but anyway, man,
He said no.
these guys do amazing YouTube stuff. And I told them, they talked to me. They're my brothers. I said, let me see if I can get my man Terrible Tim to come up here, just tell a couple of stories, because they were talking about you and Larry Holmes, you and Frank Bruno. I said, fuck talking about it. I'm gonna go get the main man himself to come up here and tell us, man. Go ahead, DC. Go ahead. Ask my brother anything, man, because he is an open book, and he's one of my great friends, and a 2-time heavyweight champ of the world.
I gotta get this gray out for here.
Oh, you got it. Hey, but
I embrace my gray.
I was telling Bruce, Tim, I was like, when I got to get on the show with you and him, I said I feel like a little kid again, because I don't know if you remember when y'all used to be out there in Orwell and y'all drive through Cleveland and stuff.
Where you from? Ohio?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
You used to be Orwell. I used to be training up there, chopping wood, everything.
Yeah, because I always would see you would be with Carl King and all them guys. I was telling them, I was like, man, I was like trying not to be a fanboy when I met you, man. Cause I was like, this is one of my favorites.
Yep, Blood Green, Dwight Davidson, Zuma Nelson.
Yeah, he had y'all
Michael Dynamite Dokes.
Yeah, he had y'all out there in the country, man.
Well, that's where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Away from the girls, away from all that stuff,
Yeah. So one thing I want to ask you real quick, I wanted to ask you, Tim, was what was it like for you, man? You're not like the biggest guy in the world, but you would fight them giants, man, and you would just beat them up. How did you do that?
Well, it was the skills, I think, and the confidence, the skill and the confidence that really helped me. I had a good trainer that taught me how to block punches. When I got in the ring, I didn't really fear the punches that was coming, because we practiced real hard, which they don't do today, blocking punches, blocking punches, throwing punches and coming back on defense. Nowadays, everybody throwing punches, but just like you just saw on the Anthony Joshua fight, neither one of them had defense. Look at it. And then you're supposed to control your opponent with the jab. When that bell ring, you got to keep that right hand up for defense. Right, both of them is D, because you bring them back here. But this is what you're supposed to use to try to control them, so you can throw the combos. So get this right, so the combos can go in. And if that don't go right, there's other plans you could do. So they, during my time, Joe Frazier, like all those names I mentioned before in the show, they would teach defense and offense. And nowadays, it just seemed like some of the boxers just throwing multiple punches because their defense not good. They want to keep throwing, and you can see both of them, Joshua and DeBozy. How you pronounce his name?
Dubois.
The
Frenchman.
Neither one of them had defense. Neither one of them had defense. So that makes the fight a lot harder when you can't depend on offense all the time. Here's some trainers. Your best defense is your offense. Why? Because you can't teach defense? Is that the reason why?
And I'll ask you this, because I'm gonna have to get Bruce, because I definitely got to interview you one day, Tim.
No problem. No problem.
Man, it's kind of funny doing this. I'm gonna ask you this: do you think it's true that they got too many physical education teachers in boxing now? Not enough, teachers, but they got more PE teachers in boxing now.
They got physical ed teachers.
Yeah, that's what they say in boxing. They don't have enough teachers. They got more PE teachers now.
No, you're supposed to have that fitness guy. Like when I was coming up, they didn't like us lifting weights, and that I think that I regret that. The old trainers didn't want you lifting weights because they felt that that'd slow you down and all that type of thing. And if I would have, it's the way you lift the weights. So the modern day guys are doing it right. But back in the old days, all the trainers, Georgie Benton and them, they didn't want you lifting weights. And I look back and say, man, that hurt me, because I wasn't real muscular but I had stamina and everything, and I had skills. But if I would have had that, like Mike Tyson and Holyfield, they've been lifting weights thing. Oh man, I would have been putting guys down. So what they doing now is really good. Having a fitness guy come in and handle their business, and then have the boxing trainer. I think that is long overdue. Even the old timers didn't want us lifting weights.
Get you stronger so you can
But
wrestle.
they
with
was
guys.
intelligent in boxing though. But they was real intelligent and defense and offense and learning how to fight. But in terms of they get you in shape, but they didn't like weights.
Yeah. Before we get out of here, like I said, I really appreciate you coming. I'm gonna let my man Puerto Rican Free. He got a question for you real quick, Tim. Go ahead, Free.
No problem.
I'll save it for when you do the interview. I mean, it was just a pleasure seeing you up here. I remember watching you fight a long time ago. Since I was a kid, I watched you.
I ain't that old.
I got family that fights now, and I always tell them you got to watch those old fighters that really get the aspect of true boxing, because a lot of these guys is, like you said, they're all about offense. A lot of these guys don't learn defense, and that's one thing that I see a lot of people have problems with when they fighting nowadays. Is more offense than it is defense. So when you see a guy with defense, they're like, "Oh man, it's boring. No, that's the science
You
of boxing.
serious?
Hit and not get hit."
You serious?
I mean, my co-host, he like those rock'em sock'em robots. He don't like the
Well, I don't like it. We
sweet
don't like
science
it.
of boxing.
I do like that, brother Tim.
What you mean? So he like getting hit then?
Yeah.
I don't like getting hit.
You know, I would want to learn how to block punches because we want to stand there and get hit. That's kind of crazy, right?
Right.
Well, see, Tim had that rare gift where he was a defensive fighter, but yet he could turn that offense on. That's why they say Shakur's boring, because he's all defense. That's why they say Devin Haney. But Tim had that offense, man, where he could dazzle him and then he knocked him out. I mean, Frank Bruno, example.
That's my favorite
really
fight, Frank Bruno.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of defense in Haney, and I don't see a lot of defense in the Bruce. They still like a lot of Shakur. Well, he be doing a lot of like the Philly shell stuff and all that.
No, he just do a lot of like moving out of the way with his feet. So it looks like,
so that's that you. So I understand what you're saying now, Bruce. So so he don't really know defense because he's moving away. He's moving away. He's moving away.
People are saying he's running. People say it's boring.
Stand your ground and slip. Stand your ground and slip and keep your hands
he's not slipping.
up.
He's not slipping. He's getting so far out of range he can't even retain. He can't even.
Well, that means he lacked real defense when you get up close, or else he wouldn't be scared or fair to get up close. Like,
but most people say,
yeah, go ahead.
Most people say that he's right in front of you, but you know he's not. They always say, people that spar him always say that no matter what, he's always right in front of me. He's always right in front of me. So whatever that's worth.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
I said the same thing.
Like I said, you my favorite man, and I'm gonna get with Bruce. I'm hoping you free. We're gonna get an interview with him, because like I said, it's
no problem.
Your childhood honor, man. So I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you, man.
You fought them all. Tony Tubbs, Bone Crusher, Larry. You fought. I mean, shit, man. I don't want to do this. We'll be going all night.
And real quick, and I fought him under a lot of stress, not getting paid.
Pinkerton, Thomas, that was crazy.
Yeah, not training properly. Because of that, on my mind, I'm playing. So if I had everything in the right place, I think I would have done a whole lot better.
I thought you won that Pinkerton, John. I thought you won that, John, bro.
That was kind of close. I mean, that was during the time when Don King was trying to get Tyson, and he didn't care who he put in there. And plus, I was giving him trouble because I was getting ripped off. So before that fight, I was giving him trouble. So when I fought Tony Tubbs, we both was arguing about our finances. So I said, wait a minute, I'm gonna do something smart. I said, I'm gonna keep quiet. And Tony kept on talking, so Don favored me. But I did win the fight, close. So I was using my brains. I said, nah, let me shut up and don't be talking about Don. But
Mm-hmm.
Tony kept on.
Kept
And the
going on
fight
and
was
on and
close, and
on.
they gave it to me. So
And that's
sometimes you
why
gotta.
Tony lost.
Well, I think I definitely I won. I did won. I was aggressive and everything. And but that was to shore it up. To
And
shore it up.
you know what that fight's famous for? Everybody talks about how Ryan Garcia got caught smoking the weed. That's Tim got caught smoking the weed, cost him $25,000 for a little bit
Damn.
of THC in his system. And he had to go to rehab too with all the junkies.
Crazy.
Yeah, they sent me to rehab for like 4 months, 5 months. I had to go in front of
That's crazy.
the drug addicts, and they was like, "Man, you got hair over just smoking a couple of puffs." I see, and they took 50,000.
Damn.
50,000. Sorry.
Yeah, they took 50. They took 50, and they sent me to rehab, and all the drug people, and they was like, "You could be here, Tim, but damn, you here for just smoking weed?" The hardcore drug guys was like, oh, they did that.
What the hell are you doing here? Taking up a bed?
Yeah, they said you don't belong here.
Hey,
That's bogus.
but
This
we
guy's
got
got a million great
we
stories.
gonna
man,
get you. We gonna get you on the show.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
please, brother. Please come
hopefully
on the
next
show.
week. Lord
No
will we'll get you
problem.
on next week, man. But
Gotta
I
stay
just want
sharp.
to.
You've
If I
been in
never
there with
tell
the
you,
best,
man,
man.
Thank you.
BVO
I appreciate it. You gotta stay sharp.
Man, thank you so much, man. Watching you as a
Appreciate
kid
it.
brought me a lot of happiness. Thank you so much.
There ain't no
No
ex-heavyweight
problem.
champ out there that's sharper than Terrible Tim right now, man. Believe me.
Yeah, no
What you
doubt.
mean? What you mean?
Too, so yeah, you doing good, man.
I'm saying,
What you
I'm
mean?
telling him, bro, you're sharp as a whistle, upstairs,
Mhm.
downstairs,
Yeah.
and you got the heart of a
I
fucking.
do be forgetting. I do be forgetting
Well,
sometimes.
hey, I told you I'm gonna get you some edibles. I'll straighten that right out.
Yeah, I would like to. I would like to do that instead of because I was sick and everything, and I can't drink or smoke anymore. I had to.
Oh, oh,
I had the things in my lungs. I had the blood clots in my lungs and down my left leg. And if I didn't make it to the hospital that morning, they said there was a close call. I was sweating, and then I felt like this was messed up, and my daughter had to go somewhere else. And I said, "No, I'm gonna take you here first." And she was like, "No, Daddy, no, let's go to the hospital." So when I went to the hospital, they said, "You lucky," and I'm glad I made that decision to go. This was only like 4 weeks ago. And now I'm on blood thinners. Yeah, now I'm on blood thinners for the rest of my life. I was trying to get in shape so maybe I could fight the winner of Tyson and Jake Paul. Do some extra. Now they said because of my blood, the blood thinners, I probably won't be able to do that. They said it'll take 5 days for your blood to thick back up. If I stop taking the blood thinners, my blood could thin up. But if I'm taking them and if I get hit, I probably could bleed to death.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said if you probably get hit internally or something like that, so you got to wait 5 or 6 days so your blood to clog back up.
Right.
That's the only way. So that would
You
probably
don't
be the
you
only
don't want to
way.
get hit at this stage of the career anyway, man.
Nah.
Those dudes
Man,
belong.
I need to take care of the family, man.
We're gonna bring you some edibles like
Hey,
Bruce said.
Tim,
You in Philly?
Tim,
I'm right over the bridge in South Jersey. If you in Philly, I'll bring you some
Oh, you in
edibles.
South Jersey?
I'm right.
Hey,
I'm a little around the block from you, brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you
All
see that
right.
watch you got on? Hey, Uncle Tim, you see that watch you got?
I don't got no watches.
That watch you got on,
I don't.
man.
I had them, man. I
Yeah.
had the watches and stuff,
Because
man.
you've been in the ring with the best, so we already know. You know
I
what I mean?
appreciate
For
it.
me.
Yeah.
I talked to the people
So
from
we're going to
Dr.
come on
Johnson.
again. We're going to come on again, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, we're gonna hopefully
100%.
have you on Monday. We want to have you on Monday. We're
Okay.
gonna get with you.
Okay.
But I appreciate you, like I said, man. And y'all usually don't hear me talking this way, man. It's crazy to have my childhood idol on here, man.
One of the idols.
Thank you.
So what, BVO? I don't care what they say about us. I'm with you, brother, on this one.
Thank you.
I don't
Thank
care
you
what
I
they
very much.
say.
appreciate you coming on because we used to
Appreciate
always
it.
hear about
Appreciate it.
because Carl King used to always be in the limos. So we used to always hear
Yeah.
he got some boxes in there. He got some boxes in there, and we'll look, and then you'll put your head out, then you'll wave at the kids and keep going.
Yeah, Carl tried to help us. He tried to sometimes talk to his dad, stepdad, and his stepdad said, not get smart with him and tell him no stuff. So Carl used to try to talk to all the boxers. He used to go to the bar afterwards and try to talk to us. He kind of like gave us the impression he wanted to help us, but he had no power. He had no power, Carl King, and so yeah. And recently they wasn't speaking to each other. If you know that happened
Yeah.
for about a year or something.
Yeah.
They
About
stopped.
2
Now
years.
I heard they cool again. I heard.
Well, you heard that
Yeah.
Don was in the hospital for 10 days, didn't you?
Oh yeah, no, I just found out yesterday. Somebody said that. Yeah.
Yeah, he had to get a blood transfusion, and Mike Tyson
Oh.
pretty much gave him his last rites. But then Don King came out and he put out a statement saying he feels really good, and Mike Tyson was over speaking his illness, and he still loves Mike Tyson, but he said he's feeling good. But Don King's 93 years old, and and people are even saying in the comments he deserves it. He deserves it. He's gonna meet his maker.
No, you know what? He did all that stuff, but how we gonna go on with our life? I don't want to go. I don't want to go on my life. He did that stuff. He got to live with it. I mean, I'm not gonna say nothing negative. I was cool with him. He did me wrong, but I just want to enjoy the rest of my life. So if people ask me about him, I'll speak about it. But I'm just going to go on. I didn't expect to wound up being 2-time heavyweight champion of the world and meeting on the podcast with you guys and meeting all these famous people. So I'm not going to say like end the rest of my life, but there's this part of my life I want to try and enjoy it. If somebody asks me about Don, I'll talk about it, but I'm not going to keep dwelling on it. And if they ask me the truth, I'm going to tell the truth. But I didn't have to be 2-time heavyweight champion or nothing like that. So, he had something to do with it, but it was wrong what he did. But I don't want to keep. If you ask me, I'll talk about it. You got to go for the rest of your life. We got to live the rest of your life. So there's some people like Blood Green, Mitch Blood Green. We was helping them get on podcasts. We was helping them with money. And I try to get Blood. That's my man. I love him. I try to get him to just leave it alone, but he's still on Don. So sometimes he cool, and then he keep talking about Don. He might as well go on with the rest of his life. That's what I'm gonna do.
Hey, and on that note, man, that's why they always say you was one of the classiest men in boxing, man.
I appreciate it.
Like I said, man, I appreciate you sticking your head out the limo back in the day when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Okay. So we gonna do it again. Just Bruce, just give me a call so we can get ready.
Yes.
All right.
Hey Tim, I talked to the people.
Thanks so much, champ.
No problem. Thank you.
I want to call you. I talked to the people from Dr. Johnson's today. They might want to get behind us, and we can we can do some business with them.
Okay.
Breaking news.
Oh right. Okay. Do they know about it? Do they know about it?
No, we're gonna say that for Monday.
Say that for Monday, please.
Yo, that stuff. That stuff.
It's BVO's childhood favorite fighter, man. The house, man.
Okay.
He came to see us, man. I can't, like I said, appreciate him sticking his head out the limo to the kids, man.
Thank you. Yeah,
that
Dr. Johnson. Okay, see you later. We'll talk about it.
We really boxing. Who wanted the baddest? Let's see. Oh, we boxing. Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video. Put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO. Bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO.